Dr. Owusu Ocho is Dr. O for the 804 as the premier knee and hip shoulder sports surgeon in Virginia. I would like to remind you that health equals power. Sports build and uplift communities, nothing else can. The mission of sports medicine is to keep athletes of all ages and levels at the top of their game. Dr. O is located at Ortho, Virginia, Schrader Road office location. Appointments can be scheduled online at orthovirginia.com or by calling 804-939-6688. You can follow Dr. O on Instagram at Dr. O _ for the 804 and uplifting educational content about sports health. Welcome to another episode of BallinVA. We are live today, Sunday, July 30th from the 757, the Mecca is what I call it, but I always give them a hard time in Virginia. We live over here at Maury High School, man. I'm with Coach McCain. I'm with Coach Mike Priv. I'm coach with Bryce Parker. And we down here, man, and we about to do some stuff. So we're trying to bridge this gap. Well, I'm trying to bridge this gap, and these guys gonna buy in, you know, with this 804, 757 stuff. But today is primarily about the Maury football program, 2019 state champions. They've been runner-up a couple of years, man, and they got a hell of a schedule this year, and we want to talk about it. So what's up, fellas?
What's up, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Look, I hate holding this mic, so I'm gonna have to kind of do that stuff. I always do that. You know. But what is going on, man? We down here today, and Coach McCain, first of all, I want to say I appreciate you taking my call. You know, shout out to my cousin Keenan Carter for making this happen. And you know, we just happy to be here, man, because this is my first episode with Morrisette Media that I actually shot in the 757. So y'all the first to get that. So a couple of other people that I thought that was gonna make it, they probably gonna get me, man. So y'all get that up there. So what's been going on, guys?
Not much, man. I mean, same way that you say you appreciate it. I mean, we appreciate it. Be your first one down here in the 757. Glad you chose us. We appreciate that you chose us. Says a lot for our kids and our community that you're the first down here.
Yes, sir.
And we appreciate it as a whole. So not just us three, but the program, the community. We all appreciate that we your first one.
Yes, sir, man. Look, look, man, y'all been in these battles every time you turn around. It's Maury versus Stonebridge, Maury versus Highland Springs. It's Maury. And then, of course, this year, man, with this gauntlet of a schedule that y'all got, the talk is about Maury. Class 5, you know, Highland Springs, they moved up to Class 6 now. So everybody's saying Maury is the team to beat. Everywhere I go, this is what I'm hearing. Do y'all agree? So, but before we get into that, let me get y'all to introduce yourselves and y'all position coaches or whatever y'all do. Coach McCain, we'll start with you, Prev, and then we'll go to you, Coach Bryce.
My name is Doree McCain. I'm head football coach here at Maury High School. I'm an alum here, played here, from the community. Love being from here. I think one of the things that we take pride from in this area is we want to make sure that it's known that we are from Norfolk. And, you know, I think a lot of people outside when it comes to recruiting and just everything else is, you know, beach area. And, you know, we're proud to be from here, from this city. So, you know, head coach and these my guys and the rest of the guys on the staff. So that's me.
Prev, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, you know me, man. Coach Mike Priv, man, DC here at Maury last 6 years. Probably the most hated coach in the state. Everybody knows that, you know what I'm saying? I'm proud on that, you know what I'm saying? I take pride in that, you know what I'm saying? And the reason why, because I played the game like that, you know, I talk trash, and that's how I play the games. How I coach my kids up to be that way. I always felt like, you know, if you're not talking trash, you ain't ready to play. I think you're talking trash, you're confident what you're doing, you know you're good, you're talented. So I coach my kids the same way, to be talented, be confident. Ain't no talking trash, it's okay, it's part of the game. You know, it comes with it, you know what I'm saying? So I want my kids to feel that way. They say kids play off their coaches, and we take pride of our kids playing how we coach, you know what I'm saying? So being here last 6 years, we've done a great job defensively, getting things in order with our kids, understanding things, going to college, knowing the basics of the way doing the college system, because we run kind of a college scheme here. A lot of kids say, "Cool, when I got to college, cool, it was like you said it would be, you know, terminology, you know, knowing formations, knowing signals and all that." So we are pleased to know that our kids are able to compete as freshmen going to college, playing in our schemes. So that's what we're trying to get to this year, man, and it's a big year for us, so we're ready to get to it.
Man, before I get to Coach Bryce, when I talked to a few people, the first thing that they asked me was, you going to be here. So when you said you the most hated coach around here, I said, well, yeah. They was like, Priv going to be there? I said, yeah, I talked to him first before I talked to Coach K, so he'll be here. So the people who going to be watching this, they definitely want to see
Most
you.
definitely.
Coach Bryce, what's happening, bro?
Yes, sir, man. Coach Bryce Parker, assistant head coach, co-offensive line coach with my guy. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention him, Coach Tevis Terrell's my right hand. We run the road. We run the run game. We coordinate the run game. Maury guy. People say 757. I'm a Norfolk guy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I like to always let that be known. I'm a Norfolk guy. I rep 757, and I'm cool with that when I'm outside of the 757. But when I'm in the 757, I'm from Norfolk, and I want everybody to know that. Maury grad, McCain and I, we both were teammates here.
Okay.
Played, graduated 2007. Graduated 2007. So, yep, been here the last. I was actually here before he came back and just linked in, and we've been rolling ever since.
Man, listen. You guys, from what y'all been doing since you've been here, man, you've been building this program steadily up. But before we get to deep, I got one personal question that I got to ask y'all. Mm-hmm. When y'all lost that game to Stonebridge, that Hail Mary thing, man, can y'all, please, for me, can y'all tell me what y'all reaction was when that happened? Because I've seen the post-interview, what you did. Mm-hmm. But I never got to talk to y'all personally because I'm just meeting y'all for the first time, and thank y'all for having me again.
Yeah.
What was y'all reaction, man, to that?
What I will say is momentum was shifting in the game, and we had an actual package. People don't know this. We had a package for a place like that. Right. And people know our two guys that we play prevent with were both hurt. Number 5, Marty Granger, and Michael. He got hurt in the game, so we couldn't put that person out on the field because they couldn't go. Mm-hmm. So we stayed in our base package, whatever. Now people said I was playing man to man, which I wasn't. Okay, be clear. It was a cover 4. It was a cover 4. They had trips to the one side with a tight end nub backside. When now there's a corner on him, and the center also seeing him. Mm-hmm. Well, with that being said, we called the play. The only thing I regret doing is not backing them up some. Mm-hmm. Because they would have so many plays where it could hit you. And I felt like we were good where we were. So I should have backed them up. I really did. I should have backed them a little bit. Long story short, the guy rolls out with our front side. And my corner, he was never in bad position. He was right on it. Mm-hmm. When the ball's in the air, I'm seeing the ball go in the air. But I realized that I got a guy right there. So I wasn't too worried. We could knock it down. We could get whatever. But when I saw that he fell down, my heart went to the bottom of the ground.
That's what I'm saying.
And mind you, it felt like a movie. Right. It felt like a whole, the lights were right there. I'm looking over there, and I say the ball is forever come down forever. And when it came down, he was still 5 yards short.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But my guy, he fell down, and when he scored, man, I was in belief. My mouth wide open, my hand was to my knees. I couldn't believe that we let this game go where it went, you know what I'm saying? And but also as coaches, it was an actual learning tool again. Mm-hmm. So now we prepare for that moment on Thursdays. Hey, prevent, let's play the game. Let's line up so we know what's going on. All learning experience. But my guy was never beat. He was right there. He falls down. But like I said, I should have had them guys back up further, so it could have been a better opportunity. But things happen, man.
I think mine will be a little shorter. He gonna give you the whole.
That's real.
Right. No, I'm talking about McCain. I'm gonna go before him because he had we just were talking about this actually this morning. For me, I was actually in a booth. I was coming off a knee surgery, so I had missed some time. So I was actually in a booth, and I'm on the headset, and I'm talking, and it's one of those things like Friday Night Lights when everything just slow down. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It's like that ball in the air, and you just looking at it like, and then as soon as he catches it to make the play, everything speeds up again. Mm-hmm. So for me, man, it was heartbreak because people see the talking, the trash talking, and whatever, but people don't see the time and the sacrifice away from our families that we put in for that moment. And for me, man, it was heartbreak because I knew for the kids, all that they had put in, coaches sacrificing. So for me, man, it was just it's a feeling I'll never forget, man. It's
never forget it.
I'll never forget it, man. Every time I walk or ride past ODU, man, that feeling is like, because we live right here. When we ride past, it's like, dang.
It's crazy.
I mean, we honestly feel like we should have 2 to 3 state championships.
Right.
But, you know, one play, like I say, a game of inches, man. So, yeah, man, it was a surreal moment, man. I just wish you can get that play back.
Man, honestly, man, I didn't sleep for about 3 days. I couldn't sleep. Because, you know, you being the coordinator of a unit, and that happens on your unit, and to know that, honestly, tell you, we were up 21-7.
Yeah.
In the fourth with 5:40 to go. So, in my, not saying I overthrow it, I'm like, yo, we about getting us in my mind, like, we getting us serious. You know, we state champions. And to know that we gave up 14 points in 5 minutes, it was so heartbreaking, just demoralizing for a coach and my staff, because, like Coach said, we put in a lot of hard work to it.
Yes.
You know, and then the backstory is you guys y'all don't be in that locker room when those kids, these are like hard-nosed kids.
Right.
And they are crying their heart out to you. As a coach, it's hard for you, because you like, this kid, he's boo-hooing.
Right.
You know, in your arms. And people don't see that side of coaching. You know, they want to bash us, Coach Prill, a dumb coach, you should have backed him up, he don't know what he's doing, but my kids were heartbroken. And so it's one thing that you learn from, but like the aftermath of it is like a thing like, wow, that work we put in was for nothing, basically. So,
Wow.
Well, from my view, you know, before we even get to that moment, I think the thing that we prepare for and the expectation of the program now has been to one, get there, and now like we're at a point where it's not even about getting there anymore. It's about executing and getting it done. That's the expectation of the program. And I'll talk more about that later, about how many years it's actually been since we've been here and what's been accomplished. But the expectation is expectation. And you know, we tell the guys all the time, and it's even posted in here in the weight room, about don't let bad habits catch up with you when it counts the most.
Okay.
So in everything you're doing, whether it's when you're in the locker room, making sure the only thing is out on top of the locker is shoulder pads and helmet. No cleats, leave no trash out, none of that type of stuff. If you was to walk in these locker rooms right now, you're not gonna see any trash on the ground. That's where the stuff starts. Reps in the weight room. If a coach walk out real quick and got to use the bathroom and do whatever, are you going to finish those 25 or are you going to do 17 when it starts hurting? So those are the little things that will get you over the top when that type of moment comes up and shows up.
Yes.
And it's never about one kid. It's about collective, our leadership, our captains, our seniors, and just the whole team following that. So, you know, maybe as coaches, we just didn't do a good job of harping it enough to finish at that moment. We were probably on the -40 when we had to punt. Our punter, Andrew McClung, who's still here, he'll be a senior this year. Gave us a great punt, put it inside the 10, right where we wanted it at. And, you know, at this phase, myself and the offensive staff, and I'm still trying to be locked into the game and what's going on, how many timeouts we got, how many yards they're getting, what down they have, but also still trying to talk about, hey, this is what we plan on doing overtime, and trying to get that plan together while still trying to finish the game. Knowing that I have all the faith in Mike Priv, like there's never been a time where I don't let him coach. I give him suggestions. You know, I tell him like, hey, this and that, but I'm never going to tell him, you need to call this, you need to call that. Like that's, and he'll tell you, like, I've never been that. Now I'm tough on him and I'm tough on all the coaches and kids and everybody else, but I've never told him what play to call. Because it's his defense. And I'm playing my role as a head coach. My role is to do that. So getting that moment, things happen. Just kind of fast forward how to play. Priv already explained it. And the first thing I think about, just with anything that's in the program, good, bad, the kids is the first thing I always go and think about every time. Mm-hmm. Not about me, not about none of the coaches, and it's about the guys. So just seeing them in that moment, how everything shaped out and played like that, and you know, you got a guy who's a sophomore in that situation, and just wondering, like, all right, will we be able to get him back mentally? Will we be able to, will he be okay? Because he's one of the guys that we're going to continue to build what we've already done with moving forward. And a lot of those guys that played in that game, they were also coming back. We weren't senior heavy in that game, so a lot of those guys were coming back, and you know, instant celebration from them. I mean, people were leaving the stands. I mean, it was a game winner, so you expect it.
Right.
And you know, for our kids that left that game not feeling too good, we also have to be able to learn how to take that too, because that's fuel in the off season, that's fuel for the next season, that's fuel moving forward, that's fuel in life. That's life.
Right.
Sure. So a bad situation happens, like, you got to be able to just bounce from it, because it's next play. You have a bad day at work, that don't mean you don't show up at work the next day. There's still bills that need to be paid. So that's the stuff that we teach on a daily basis, that of course is gonna go into football at the time in the moment, but we want something to stick with them when they're 25, 26, 27. So moment happens, go over there, try to you know, it's sportsmanship. I mean, from head coach to head coach, great game. I had no issues with the way, you know, obviously I wasn't happy about taking the loss.
Right, of course.
But when I go over there, I was cool with them celebrating and taking all that in. I mean, you should be doing that. Your fans should be coming on the field, and y'all should be jumping with each other, Gatorade bath, water, do all that. Go over there to shake the head coach's hand. Tell him good game. He felt otherwise in other ways that he didn't want to shake hands. So it kind of didn't play out like that. But, you know, that is what it is, and move forward. So, again, after that, again, my mind and thought goes back to my kids. So I turn around from there. I see my coaches, prayer specifically, and them guys just still kind of standing there in disbelief and sick. I mean, because when you're, I mean, you even think about it, like, I mean, we're coaches now, so you think about, and we were just across the street right now at a girls' flag league, and you know, when you're kids and you're 11 playing football, throw back and run, and for us it was at Lakewood, like we grew up on Lakewood, that's up the street. So when you're out there, you're playing throw back and run, or you're playing in Little League, you think about being able to be in a state title game, being on the biggest stage. You think about doing that, and the glory and the good thing is being on the side that Stonebridge was on. Right. You don't think about when you're 13, 12. You don't think about the other side. Right. The side is, man, I'm gonna catch this game-winning catch, or man, I'm gonna do this, or man, I'm gonna throw this game-winning pass. It's never. I mean, you shouldn't have the thought of, man, when I get in this state game, man, I'm gonna blow it by doing this. You never think of that. So when it happens, it's hard to take in at the time. So for me, you know, it's a bunch of avenues. I mean, I'm thinking about the kids, and then I see the coaches, and I'm like, dang, like they still in shock. But we still got to get these guys like here, because we had to, you know, get some awards. And for me, like even after we grabbed the awards, and because we had to go first because we were runner up, so we had to get our the little medallions or whatever first, and then Stonebridge had to get theirs. And for me, we're not going in the locker room while they're getting that. I don't care whatever happened and the coach didn't want to shake hands or whatever. We're gonna take that in. We lost. We're gonna take that in. We're gonna watch them celebrate.
But he made us watch it though.
And we're all nobody is going into the locker room. We're gonna sit there and take that in.
Private, come here. I'm like,
we're gonna take that in.
See this.
We're gonna take that in. We want to remember. We want to remember, and when we get back at it in late January,
we don't want to feel like this.
We don't want to feel like that no more.
You don't want to feel like
that's.
Can nobody leave though? Can nobody leave? He made us all stay there and watch them though, bro.
But so you said what you said. How did you feel about that you had to sit there and kind of watch that whole thing?
Like I said, for me, I was coming off knee surgery, so I was on crutches,
Okay.
and it was more so. I looked at it for the kids' perspective because I just seen their disbelief, and I thought it was a good teaching moment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Me too,
I
that's
looked
how I
at it
was
like, man, just had to be an adult about it. Like, yeah, but what can we get from this? I'm more of a glass half full kind of guy. Like, what can we teach? What can we learn from this situation? And how can it make us better? So for me, it was a good moment, and I'm glad he did that because I felt like guys knew what it was going to be like when it was time to get back to it, and it made us a better program. Every loss we've taken, we took something from it. It's made us better. Whether it's that type of loss, Hail Mary, whether it's getting beat by Springs, by whatever, like they blew us out in 2018, our first year there. We talked about that moment where Springs was celebrating on the sideline. We'll never forget it, man. It was the band was going crazy. Yeah. You see Lauren up there going crazy, and those guys just jumping around. It's like it's a moment. It's an out-of-body experience, man, when it's like, dang, but when you get yourself to, it's like, all right, what can we learn from this? And we've always been better from our losses. That's one thing I can say. It's always the thing that we harp on in the offseason because we usually play in late December. So we got a month, and then we get right back at it. Now this is, you know what I'm saying, this is what it's about. This was the offseason about. So we got better from it, and it was a good moment for us. So,
man, that's deep, like, because you always want to get the perspective. So we see the little 5-game message, we watch the after game, we see the kids stuff, but we don't get this part.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I've been wanting to ask the position coaches. I remember when I had one of the coaches I interviewed in Richmond, and they asked me, you know, because most of the time it's always the head coaches. They're getting the press.
Yeah, for sure.
We never get a chance to hear it from the position coaches because you get a different perspective. Right. And then you get the real feeling of, man, what did you really, if he made you feel like this, how did you feel about coaching? He was like, I don't want to do that. But like you said, he told you, man, come back.
Yeah.
And
I
you
was
respected that. I know you.
They know me. I was out of there.
If
he ain't yelled my name, I was gone. I was going to the locker room.
I ain't watching it. But no, for me, I can see that. But first, before we move on, I want to shout out to Courtney McLean because, you know, he asked me to come over and watch College Street with the girls' flag football league got going on. So shout out to that brother, man. He's trying to build something. So if y'all get a chance, man, follow that league. He got it. PD Powerhouse at them on Instagram, so check them out and see what they got going on. But yeah, man, this is probably the most anticipated high school football season yet.
Most definitely.
And again, we're gonna go right into it. Y'all the talk. Okay, you know what to say. They got the transfers. We call y'all the transfers. Y'all can address that. We talk about y'all schedule, and it's to the point now. You guys are expected, like Coach said, to win the state championship. It's really nothing else. So I'm gonna ask y'all first before y'all go into details. If you guys don't finish the season, would you consider it a failure?
Damn right.
No question. Ain't no question about it.
Okay.
That's every season. I'm being honest.
I know that's every season.
And I'm gonna let them talk more on that. Bryce and Priv talk more. I'm just gonna say this part. Our expectation here has never been and never will be about an outside expectation.
Okay.
Somebody thinking that we should do this or it better be this or it better be that. It's about us.
The standard.
So it's what we set in the standard. So when we don't get it done, it's what we didn't accomplish for and what we didn't get for ourselves and what the kids want.
Absolutely.
So it's never going to be about somebody else's outside expectations. Parents, fans, people that hate us, people that love us. It's always going to be about what our kids want, and we're going to, as a staff, deliver whatever expectation, whatever goal that they want for that year. We just got to do the best job as coaches. So it'll never be an outside influence on an expectation. It's what we want for us. But like I said, I'll let them talk more on that.
So legit, what he's saying is correct, but
it's always a
we want to hear this, man.
It's a little different. Like McCain isn't a big social media guy.
Yes.
Priv and I are. So I ain't trying to hear these people mouths, man.
We're not gonna even address, because we already talked about what I told you. We're not gonna say these sources. Just say,
right. You know what I'm saying?
We ain't gonna even get that.
Yeah, we not extra. But just, man, people give you that oh man, I got more to win it. But it's they doing that. They really hope we don't though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They really
It's
hope
that
we
backhanded
don't,
compliment
But they
shit.
saying like, oh, I hope. But soon as we like, if we didn't do it, then they talking junk. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So it's for us. It's like if we win it, they were supposed to win it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They were supposed to win it. They got all these transfers, whatever it is they gonna say. If we lose, they can't coach. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. That part.
They gonna always go to that. So
Well, it'll be if you win, you can't. You had the players. So,
you had the player. Yeah, if you win, you had the
If you
players.
win, you
had
got
the
the players,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? It's gonna be every narrative, but what it is. But for Priv and I, Priv talk a lot on social media. I mean,
Yes,
Priv is
he
just
ain't.
that guy, and McCain be on him, and I try to be on him too. But for me, I don't talk as much trash. But I'm not, because I don't talk as much trash because I'm not good with handling it. I'm not good with that, bro. Like, I'm not good with that because I'm like, what's up? Where you at right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real, like, that's what I'm like
We talked earlier,
you know what I'm
right?
saying? For real though, like why we got like, but and the thing is, people don't see the sacrifice, man. People always, oh, they got talent, whatever. But it's like, yeah, we do, man. But I feel like it's honestly hard to coach talent.
Yes.
You gotta please so many egos. And so many parents, and so many whatever. It's like man, it ain't no easy task. Yeah, you get talent, but when you do things the right way, you hold up a standard, and people see that, man. People want to be a part of that. And people always talk this transfer thing, and I always say, 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, they called us.
We didn't
part.
call you.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
called
Like,
me.
they called us like.
So they ain't saying that, right?
They
You know
not
what I'm
saying
That's what I'm
that,
saying.
bro.
People saying
They not, bro.
recruiting. It's like, nah, man, we not doing that, bro. And every elite or legit program can attest to that.
Yes.
Your phone, you know what I'm saying? People are calling your AD or your principal, your admin, trying to figure out, okay, what do I got to do? What zone? Where do I got to move to live? Because parents want to do what's best for their kids.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And as a parent, you got to look at it like, if I'm a parent, I'm going to do the same thing.
Most,
I'm gonna do the
I
same
think all
thing.
of us have
so,
done that.
So people say, but what I always notice is it's the people who are without, the people who don't get those guys in, or their program doesn't have the buzz. Then they're gonna talk about us. But you know, man, they're gonna talk about a winner, man. And we do things the right way, and people see that. And every time I can say this, anytime we've had a kid come in, their parent and the kid always say it's different on this side. It's different, bro. It's different. Like just Friday at our practice, we had a invite only to the parents to come check us out.
Okay.
A parent was just telling us, like, man, like, I see why y'all are where y'all are every year, because it's really different. The attention to detail, all that goes into it, like, people not doing that, and they are proud of what they bought into.
For sure.
So.
I know you want to go. I'm waiting for your response before I go to Coach McKay. I want to hear what you got to say, man.
Man, like I said, man, like I said, the program itself, man, it's state or nothing. Like, it's nothing we can say or do. Like, when we coach our kids, it's state championship or nothing at all. You know what I'm saying? And I truly feel like we could easily be a 3-time state champion.
Absolutely.
Easily. You understand? Like, easily. I felt like the Stonebridge game, we had that game in the bag.
Right.
It didn't go our way. Things happened, some downfalls, mental errors, and cost us the game. Last year against Springs, I truly felt like we was better at Highland Springs. I truly felt that way. If I didn't feel that way, I wouldn't have said it. I feel like I've seen better Springs teams. And I think we was there. No excuse being made. We lost the game. But I feel like we were better than them. I thought we should have won that football game. And people say injuries happen. I ain't gonna entertain that. They didn't play. So be it. But I felt like we should have won that football game. I think both sides. We played well to win that football game. So now we return 17 guys from that team, right? 17 of them. So, and they were sophomores. Most of them were sophomores, you know what I'm saying? A couple seniors here and there, but a lot of them are now, juniors and now seniors. So we feel like we should be dominant this year coming around. It should be no confusions on what we're supposed to do this year. Like, you can say, oh, we're supposed to win it. Yes, we are. Yes, we're supposed to win it. Yes, we are supposed to win it. And we know we're supposed to win it. You know what I'm saying? So we don't care about the outside people. Oh, they should have won it. All these talents, they should win it. Yes, we should.
So
you
why
know what
do
I'm
people give
saying?
y'all a hard time? Why do
Because
they
of
always
me.
think so you make
Because of me. I'm the issue.
It's like, well, Maury do
They
this.
like 'cause of
and
me.
Prim do this one. Like, okay, so you the
I'm the
gasoline.
issue.
Okay,
Yeah,
bad guy, man.
I'm the bad guy.
You ain't say you pouring kerosene all on this
And
thing, right?
I enjoy being the bad guy. You know why?
Why?
They say the time we put in this program, I think that we put a lot of time in this program with these kids, man. We have daughters, we have families to go to, and we spend most of our time here.
Right.
We here 7 days a week. Now, I'm not saying everybody not doing that, but we spend a lot of time with these kids, and we know we're developing these kids to where we feel like they're confident, we're confident. So why not we act like we know we're confident, we know we're good. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like me being the bad, I'm gonna talk my trash because I feel like I know my kids are good, I know my coaches are good, we're all on the same page, and we all should be that way. Like, we don't all work for something. To be champions.
But that's the difference. He can handle.
Yeah,
he can
I can
handle
do
it
that.
after the. I can't handle it, man.
I don't mind.
I like
See, me and
you know what I'm saying. Like he's like a man about it. Like yeah, we lost, man.
we lost, it's
I'll
okay.
take it. Right. But I can't handle it. Man.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
can't handle it,
Like,
bro. I'm being honest.
and people hate our program because of me.
They
You
do.
know what I'm saying? They always say, I don't got no problem with Maury, but coach, hit that coach right there, I don't like that guy. You know what I'm saying?
The way I look at it, man, y'all got to be doing something right because I wouldn't be here. Tim wouldn't be here today if it weren't for that. And I'm sitting up here like, well, Maury seems like this, Maury. And I'm like, man, I'm going to talk to them guys. I got to see what's going on. Coach McCain, you kind of have like the even keel, kind of that balance. What you got to say, man? Because you know everybody want to hear it.
Yeah, well, so the even kill is kind of, I mean, it's definitely a thing. In practice, a little bit more intense.
Okay.
It's tough to play here. Player, coaches, it's tough to be here, but, you know, it all benefits. But, yeah, I mean, that's the goal. That's the standard. It ain't, you know, the guys know December 9th, 2023. They know.
No matter who it is.
Like the time, we already know the places at ODU. The time, the opponent, like, we just like that's where we at with it now. Again, taking care of first games we got coming up, the scrimmages, the games.
Oh, yeah.
Get the playoff. Obviously, those are win or go home. We take each week, no matter who the opponent is. We're focused on that opponent that week. But we know the standard, we know the goal. So it ain't about just getting to December 9th. It's about finishing at December 9th. And you know, that's just what it's been since we've been here. But if we talking about this team specifically, yeah, it's no question, and there's other stuff that I feel like that we need to continue to get done that I think doesn't get talked about enough. I mean, I think a lot of people talk about the wins and the losses and making the state title game and consistency, but I want to put a little bit of something in perspective though. So we just finished 6 years?
Yeah.
Right? And we have a 100% graduation rate with what we've been doing.
There's a round of applause for that.
People talk about the wins and the success, but we have a 100% graduation rate. All right, we also have 53, 54 honor grads since we've been here in these 6 years.
Wow.
From the football team. You know, we don't really deal with the issue of guys being ineligible.
Yeah, we don't.
At all, or even, you know, close to that. You know, we take that stuff serious. So it's a reason why, you know, like I said, we're in 6 years, and 5 of those have been in the state tournament.
Yes.
Yeah.
And 3 of those out of the 6 we've been in the state game. We've won 1 and we've lost 2. So usually for us, and at least my thought is, usually by year 4, year 5 is when you're trying to reap the benefits of that change, of that culture or whatever. Yeah. And at that point, we're already three state title games in the building stage. Yeah. Like our best part of the program hasn't even been here yet. In my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
So all of that stuff that we've done so far, winning the state title and losing the ones and all that type of stuff, all of that was the building process. So shout out to the guys who came before, the Lamberts, the Beasleys, the Peels, Grangers, Dave Haley, Micah Coakley, Kazon Johnson,
Darian Varner.
You know, I can go on and on and on. Amarion Granger, Dede Evans. I can go on and on. So that's just a standard with this team. But to keep that cycle moving, that I don't think enough people talk about is our graduation rate and our honor grads. Because just as physical and fierce as we are in games, we're also getting it done in the classroom, and our guys are going next level and on full rides and
we see a lot of that.
Getting on the field. And we have a bunch of starters that are going to look to do good things this year, so next level. So that's just the standard all around. I mean, it's another season. I guess everybody wants to create that conversation, but it's just what we want to continue to do. It's just about getting it done December 9th.
You know, I want to hop on the grade thing here, right? So
Okay.
y'all don't know this though. Y'all in our meetings, y'all get these phone calls from this guy like daily, right? Okay. Speaking of grades, right? he would tell us our players their grades at like, hey coach, hey, the linebacker grades. He'll let us know your group what their grades are, right? So you get them, hey Coach Prill, hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, if this D don't come up, he gonna play Friday night, right? So you get a grade. I'm like, son, how you got a D in cooking class? Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm getting cut by him because my kid got a D in cooking. So I got now being practiced with him like, really? You got a D in cooking? He's calling me, fussing me out. My linebacker got a D in cooking. Like, what are we talking about here?
Wow. So you get these messages during the day.
Anytime today, man.
Are you serious?
But I think that's more so. That goes to the standard, man. It's just
Right, that's what he was saying.
Everything though, like it's to be the best at everything you do. You sit in the front row of the class. Like that's the standard. You have to do that.
We do that.
You know what I'm saying? If you walk past the classroom and you're not in the front row, it's gonna be consequences to that. You know what I'm saying? So, and I just feel like it's bigger than football. It's bigger than Maury. It's life. Yes. We want to prepare these guys to be successful young men, dads, husbands when they leave us. Yes. That's the most important.
Look, everything is work in life. Right. Everything is work. So if you're gonna put in the work, why not be the best?
Right.
Absolutely.
If you're gonna put in the work, why just settle for being mediocre if you're gonna put in work anyway?
That's right.
If I'm gonna go in here, I know I got to be here at practice at 7:30 in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. If I got to come here to work anyway, why am I going to go through the motions? Right. I might as well be the best I can be at anything that I'm doing. Is just what they're talking about, just the standard. Just be the best at whatever it is you're doing. When you're in the weight room, the best reps that you can possibly make. When you're at practice, be up in front in the sprints. Be a good teammate. Sure. If that guy's making a good play, whatever, and y'all in the same position, congratulate that guy. We need good teammates, good people. But I mean, it's with everything. And I know the question is that, and that's an expectation. Right. But it's a lot of expectation here. And again, everybody can't coach here and everybody can't play here, and that's okay.
Everybody.
And that's okay.
It ain't for everybody.
And it's no dislike to anybody who doesn't want to. And there's probably some people that want to coach here, but just don't understand what it takes to coach here. And I attest to these guys for sticking around, and the rest of the staff that's been around for a while. And same thing player-wise. It's just everything has a standard to it. In the classroom, in the community, on the field, off the field, you're not in, being a good teammate. Like, everything has a standard to it, everything. So being able to live up to that, if we're doing our best in the classroom and everything else, community and everything else, not leaving cleats out in the locker room. If we're setting a standard and being the best and everything, like, we'll finish on December 9th. We'll finish.
No question.
See what I'm saying, parents? So for the parents that's in this area down here in Norfolk, whether you're in the 757 area as a whole, I mean, this is what you would want. This would be my expectation if I had a kid that was looking to, maybe, that lives in the area or want to play for higher standards. Me, I used to work at the bank. Bank of America, we used to always say higher standards, so that's just where it is. So if my standards are here, I want to meet a program that meet the same expectations as I got. So, no, man, I like that. So, no, when y'all said y'all had a parent meeting to kind of walk around, that's the first time I've heard that. Not to say that other programs don't do that, but nobody openly talked about that. Right. So that's a great thing, man, because you got to get the community involved and let people know what you're dealing with before you come over here. Because a lot of people just want to see, they won, or they got these type of uniforms, and they doing this. but you really don't know. And that's the reason why I like doing these podcasts. It's the stories for me. It's the untold stories that we don't get. We see what you doing online and you say the stuff like that, but we don't get to hear directly from the coaches. So that's why I would say today is an opportunity for you guys to say whatever you want to say so people can know exactly about the program. Talk about some of the players that you guys got. You know you got some transfers, but talk about some of the players that's been here. Y'all expecting some big things from this year? Because like I said, me from the 804, I really don't know them too well. But can y'all kind of give us who they are?
I think for this year, I think for us coaches, I think some of the guys are now seniors that been in the program since they were freshmen. Is really big for these guys. A prime example, we have our linebacker, Fred Johnson, 6'3", 225, ran a 4.5 at the South Carolina camp. He's about to put a 4-year guy. He had 2 injuries in the beginning of his career, but last year he kind of got on the scene. You know, we've been had him, but he finally got his little rhythm going now. He's a guy. He's a guy we expect him to be that anchor for us defensively. You know, he's been in the program for, you know how we want things done. He's a very athletic kid. Going to South Carolina, committed to South Carolina this summer.
Okay, I heard about him.
You know what I'm saying? He's a guy that we knew would be a guy, but nobody knew about him because of, you know, we had going on. So he's one of my star players. I'm looking forward this season for him to play, to be that anchor, that leader, that guy to know without him it's going to be some problems. So he's my precinct start out guy for this season.
Okay. Coach, anybody
for me, offensive side of the ball, so this probably a little, nobody probably gonna expect this. For my group, my guys up front, a kid named Darius Bowman plays left tackle for us. Kid's a dog. Mentally, kid is yes sir, no sir guy. Doesn't miss anything, and is about that action though. Like, and he's the guy that if it's a fight, you got your back turned. It's a fight in practice. You know he a part of it.
He's around the fight somewhere.
He's a part of it. And to see his development, I think people don't give that credit. We take pride in development, man. Like,
I hear that a lot too.
You get guys in, but you see the ones who coach it. When you see a guy who comes from, like, I don't know, and it's been so many of those guys. He's a guy that we had to kind of throw to the fire that wasn't ready.
Okay.
And he grew up so fast, man. And I'm just so excited to see him. This year. And my other one is another offensive lineman, Corey Sanderlin, man. I say this. And people think I'm joking. He was a freshman last year. He started as a freshman. Plays right guard. I played this game. I've been around this game for a long time in the area. He is one of the most physical and meanest, gifted interior offensive lineman I've ever been around.
Wow.
He's trying to finish you though.
He's trying to kill everything in front of him.
He's trying to finish
it's like it's not even a thought. He's trying to bury you. In practice, he's trying to bury you.
We don't got pads on yet. He's trying to finish kids.
But that's where it started though, right?
And we talk about the main word we talk about is mentality. He has that mentality. Like I'm just like, man, why you mad all the time?
All the time,
like,
though.
He's never smiling.
Never smiling.
Like, but he is that guy, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention my guy Christian Murphy. He's a 3-year starter, our left guard. He is the brains of the operation. He's the vet. He does everything the right way. And he's a guy that we've been dependent on since his sophomore year. Threw him to the fire early. He answered the bell, and he's just a guy that you don't have to watch. You don't have to worry, is he going to do the right thing? He's going to do the right thing when nobody's watching, and you can win with those type of people in your program and on your unit. So feel like we have a good group coming back. We have 4 of the 5 starters coming back on the offensive line.
That's key.
Right.
That is big.
We're plugging in one guy who played a lot last year as well. So never had 6'5", 6'3", 300-pound offensive linemen. In our area, you really don't get those guys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we known for our skilled guys, and even more so in Norfolk, you don't find linemen like that. So we've gotten away with, I think, development and coaching, playing with those undersized guys. But one thing you always can say, they always dogs. Like, you got to be a dog to play for me and Coach Tev. Like, because we going to let you know when you're not. You know what I'm saying? we going to let you know.
But see, that's always been the standard here in Norfolk and Hampton, man. And again, we always salute you guys. And I tell you, anybody know me, they watch my show, they know I ain't lying. We always salute, because the first thing when you think of guys from down this area, the Tidewater area, is dogs.
Yeah.
Y'all come with that dog mentality. So we know that when our teams have to play you guys, we know already that you guys gonna be like,
right, they're gonna be tough guys.
It's gonna be a tough matchup. Right. It ain't gonna be no walkover. It's not gonna be none of that. And that's why you guys have always really set the standard and the foundation. And I'll say that because I've always give 757. It'd be the fanboys who I give a hard time. Not 757, because I just let them know that some of these fanboys just be talking about, well, we won this, we won this. We know that y'all win.
Right.
Yeah.
But again, we know that when we come down there, it's like, y'all gonna bring it. Yeah. We know y'all gonna bring it, so that's why I said, no, man, you guys are always set the standard for us and throughout the state. So I just wanted to highlight that.
But to that point, man, speaking of the offensive lineman or whatever, I get Coach Tev and myself, we talk about it all the time. Like, I remember 2018, we first played Highland Springs. Like I said, we were new to it. McCain had coached in that element before when he was at Norview prior to being here. Play Highland Springs and knew what it looked like. But for myself, Coach Priv, like, we'd never been on that stage. So we were playing them at Verona, and pregame, the skill guys on the field, and they just they look normal. They just look like
normal guys,
regular guys.
Regular guys.
And Coach Priv is like, I'm talking crazy.
I'm like, yo, hey,
that ain't gonna do it.
Out here.
Hey, look,
we ready to go.
It just seemed like everything went quiet, and you just heard somebody say, "There they go,
bro." I never forget it.
And you just see it. You know how to remember the Titans? They come out. That was the lineman, bro. I'll never forget it.
Never forget it.
They had 5 sets of 5 legit linemen.
Linemen.
Like, I'm talking about, like, their third group was bigger than our first group.
Seriously, though.
Like, and we'll never use that excuse, you know what I'm saying, to say, because we expect to win every time we line up. But to see that, it's like, okay, now I see why they are who they are. We respect them like that. Like, they are who they are because of those trenches that they've always produced. And when he said, there they go, Coach Priv looked at me. He wasn't paying attention because he talking. And I think Coach Tev tapped him like, hey, Priv, look. He turned around and looked and was like, oh, shit. Like, yo, that's different right there.
It was crazy.
It was crazy, man.
And it's wild for me when I remember that actual moment. I have never seen a crowd cheer that loud.
Man, the
for
cowbells.
Cowbells. So it was, like I said, on the field, our school guys, their school guys, it was the same. I'm like, man, team ain't that big. People how big they were with the whoop. So at that moment, I'm ready to go. You know what I'm saying? I'm locked in. I'm confident about the game plan, ready to go. And I didn't see the linemen at all. So in my mind, I don't think about that, though. You know what I'm saying? And when they start walking out in the crowd, the cowbells, I had my headphones on. So I really couldn't hear them, but then I took them off. And their whole crowd was saluting the big guys. You run as a team, a program, salute the big guys, you know what I'm saying? And when I saw, so mind you, the first 2 lines came out. I'm like, okay, cool. But they had another 3 lines of linemen. They weren't like no 185. They were all 240 or better. You know what I'm saying? That's like, wow. And Terrell's like, Brev, look over there. I'm looking like, I turned around so slow, I'm like, what? Oh my God. 25 linemen.
That's crazy. And like we said, we're not just saying like linemen in a line.
You don't see that.
You don't see a high school team.
No, you don't.
Legit linemen too. Legit guys.
Man, shout out to the Springs, man, the whole East End, man, because they different on that side of town over there. So shout out to them, man.
It was one, and that was one of that game right there. And I'm gonna tell you something. As coaches, I lose that game 71-28.
Yep, I remember that game.
If you were there, if you were at the game, you could see that they were prepared for that moment. You know what I'm saying? And I think the game itself, we could play with them, but they took part of the game. We didn't take it very serious. Special teams.
Okay.
The third part of the game, and people kind of downplay. They scored 35 points on special teams on us.
But Priv,
You know what I'm saying?
I don't think people downplay it. They had 100 kids. We had 38,
40 at best.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
we were trying to give guys blows when they had legit numbers. And they really,
They
that's
had
one of those
guys
things when I
there.
said we got better from that moment.
Yes.
We learned
See,
from that moment.
and see, that's the part, because when I told you I was with my former co-host and he talked about that,
Yeah.
and he kept saying, well, the only reason that Highland Springs won that game, and I said, he said, yeah, because they didn't have like three players didn't play that game. And I said, bruh. And he just couldn't, and I said, that when I knew that he really didn't know what he was talking about.
okay.
And I said,
People
that's
don't
why
know.
I said, see, I didn't even have to bring that up, and the fact that y'all brought that up to explain that. So if you're watching this, sir, I know we're okay now, but you just heard it from them.
Yeah.
Say, I
It was
told you,
different.
I don't make stuff up.
It was
I'm just
different.
like, I understand you want to pick up your, but know what you're talking about before you just go run off at the mouth. These guys just said, I ain't had to say nothing.
It's crazy. Like you said, we had a lot of guys during that time period, 18. A lot of our guys went both ways.
Right.
So we put freshmen up there, JV guys.
That's
but
crazy,
because
man.
The other guys starters blows. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we look at it, they had real guys. They had start number 12. They had 4. They had number 2. They were starters playing on kick return, kickoff. They had real guys up there. It was killing our kids because they were seasoned guys. So from that day forward, man, this guy here, Doree McCain, man, I'll never forget it. He came in, he rearranged our whole offseason special teams preparation.
Wow,
From
just
then on,
from that point.
game.
That moment.
You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? So now we spent 2 weeks just on special teams, 2 weeks straight.
Nothing else but special teams.
Are you serious?
No
Right now,
practice,
we're
no offense, no defense, special teams.
2 weeks straight. All special teams. That's all we do. And we take pride because it taught us that part of the game
will
is
lose
taken
you.
seriously.
No question.
That program took it seriously, and it showed. They blocked the punt, or 2 kick returns.
punt
You know what I'm
return.
saying? A punt return. And we're like, that's 20 points right there.
Because the score was 21-24 at halftime.
Right. I remember.
And they just, man.
So they kind of helped us become better coaches within our program.
question,
'cause
no question
He
about
made
it.
it known that we're not going to lose a game like that again, not preparing for special teams.
Man, I just salute that y'all, like I said, that because people, see, that's where I know that you guys are, y'all men.
Right.
Because most time men can't sit up here and just say that. I wasn't going to even bring up anything to that. I just wanted you guys to talk about your program
Right.
and stuff like that. But I know Coach Johnson did, salute you guys when I talked to him a couple of weeks ago, on the podcast. And he, talked about how well you guys run your program, talking about your game plan and everything like that. But for you guys to do that, man, and this is what I'm talking about. Men can be men. You guys said, look, yeah, we ain't gonna do it no more.
Yeah,
this
sure.
is where we gonna go from this point, and I guarantee you won't beat us like this. And next time we probably gonna beat y'all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So to say that, man, I salute you guys. And it was with Coach McCain when me and him talked about. He said, man, we don't get into that. We show love. We do this, and basically what you just said confirmed what me and him talked about last Saturday.
Yeah.
So man, just Coach McCain. I know you get a chance. Go ahead,
No.
man.
It's all good. I mean, again, we all together, us and the staff. But in that time, in that moment, I guess kind of going back to that, I had been on that stage before, so kind of already knowing what to expect a little bit. Now, for me, I was at Norview at this time, and it was actually at Springs.
Okay.
And I think the time that we played them up there, Verona, when I was here at Maury, I guess their new stadium was being built or something like that, so they had to use Verona.
Yeah, use Verona. Yeah.
So kind of already knowing what to expect up there and the stage of the game and all that type of stuff.
Yes.
And I remember having a conversation with the coaches, just to let them know, like, and not to say, like, of course the opponent was Highland Springs, but it was more about the game in the moment before the game.
Right.
So it wasn't about Highland Springs. It was being on at the state level now at this point.
Right.
And I think we had at the time had like 3 coaches total, 2 or 3 coaches that had been at that stage, including myself.
That's a big difference.
Mind you, on top of that, this was only the second year in the program.
Yeah.
So that was only year 2 of the program getting to that stage, and then only 2 or 3 guys only had been on that stage as far as coaches. So none of the players had, most definitely. So, they had already been building whatever they had and whatever they had going on and all that type of stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And again, just like anything, like we're here to compete. And they got the best of us that day. That's how it happened. Experience kicked in. Their coaches had been there, kids had been there, fans had been there, everybody had been there. We got that experience, and like he said, like he brought up the point, we got better from that.
For sure.
Just like the same thing, how we got better from any other losses that we've taken, because we've always played in
I was always there.
in December.
Yep.
And what, the past 6 years? 6 years. 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah, I've been there.
So now we've been there. All right, but again, kind of growing from that point. And I did the same thing last year. Not last year, the year before. So we, it's supposed to be this Green Run Maury rivalry thing down here and all that type of stuff. And
Be a rival, coach.
the year we
beat us. You can't be a rival, man. Let's be clear about that.
Hey, that's Mike Priv, bro.
Green Run has never beat us, so how can it be a rivalry?
That's Mike Priv for
Let's
you,
be
man.
clear about this, guys.
Look, listen.
Certain subjects you bring up, we talk about, he's gonna come out of nowhere with just some.
guys can't-
You know what? And I'm good with that.
Those guys Mike Priv with us. Come on, man.
Gotta love him, man.
I'll let him go into that if he wants to get there, but we played them at Green Run, and great showing, great game. Again, a team that had been to that stage before.
Right.
We understood. We never doubted it. Now on paper, it might have been a better roster on the other side or whatever, but we had been there. That group had been there. We understand how to win. We understand what it takes to last to that level, i.e. like when we went up to Richmond and played Highland Springs that time. We had been in that moment before. After we played that game, just like anything, I'm always going to go, find a head coach and congratulate whether we win or lose or whatever. I went up to Coach Williams and I asked him to call his staff over to the middle of the field on the 50. All right, so he had a hard time trying to find some of them because they might have been dapping the guys up, and obviously they lost, so trying to console their kids or do whatever. So I asked him, I said, hey, can you pull your staff over here? So got some of the guys over there, and I told him, I'm like, look, man, like, we've been in this boat before. Because at that time, like, they were us. Like, they were kind of just getting started, getting that buzz, and, like, starting to become a team that's trying to be prime in this state. So, again, like me, like, I got to be able to, like, pass that advice or be able to help them. Because, like I said, if they're doing better, it's going to help us as a whole. So I chatted with the whole entire staff and said, look, man, like, I'm not trying to tell y'all, like, I'm not a 50-year-old head coach. I've only been a head coach for 6 years.
Right.
That's it. I've only been a head coach for 6 years, so I'm not a 40-year vet. I'm only telling y'all what I've known, what I've experienced so far. So, hey, man, don't let this be the last of y'all. Y'all need to build from this. Don't point no fingers. Y'all figure out a way to get better from this game. I feel like that's what we did. So if y'all stick together and, kind of mold everything together, we expect to see y'all year after year after year and be even better, even better, even better. And I'm hoping that anybody on that staff will be able to confirm that and say, nah, he did say that, because I chatted with them after. To let them know that. Now, again, that's not my team. That's not my staff. All I did was try to get him the advice. But going back to, the players that we expect to see this year and whatever other subject, but, the players-wise.
And I hate to do that because a lot of times, I mean to cut across you, but I hate to do that because a lot of times a kid may feel like they get left out if they don't hear their name and stuff like that. So I hate to do that, you know what I'm saying? But if you want to elaborate on it, please. If not, I understand.
No, yeah. I mean, I think it's a lot of people that we're looking forward to. I mean, I can give a long list of guys. I mean, from Tory and Matt and Ken at the quarterback position. We're expecting a lot out of them. Feel great in that room. Those guys love each other, so expect them to be the general back there for us. That room we love that room. Backs wise, we had the guy go down last year, Peyton Jones, who's now at Duke and is doing well. But we feel good in that room, all the way from Melvin to Leon to Damari to Cam, to the young freshmen that we have. So we feel good in that room. We're expecting things from them. Up front, Coach Bryce already talked about that. Those guys are some of the most unselfish guys, coaches included, that we expect a lot from. Outside, we got Devontae Floyd, we got LeBron Bond, Josh Powell is another one, Javonte Wiggins, Fred Johnson, Eli Moss, just a bunch of names that we expect stuff from. And Prev already talked about the defense, but when we got a corner that the same corner that we had in that state game, he's now a 3-year starter now. He's now a senior. So you just talk about and really, to be honest, going really our senior class. If and again, it kind of goes back to when I said being able to sit there and take that celebration from Stonebridge or Springs last year when they won it. Being able to sit there, you think about the adversity that this senior class has faced. They came into COVID. They came into COVID. So they came in, there was no true off-season for them. You hear on a Tuesday, and then you might not be back until 2 Fridays from now, and then you back for another 2 or 3 days, and then you off for another 4. So they never really had the true coming into the program, the development, all that type of stuff. They come in, they make it to the state semis, okay? Then they lose a heartbreaker in a state title game, and then they lose last year. All right, so they've been through enough adversity. So at this time, we know that we got some not only gritty young men, but some guys who have been through some real adversity, and this is what they want now. What else haven't they've accomplished everything else? They battled through COVID, they won the regional title, they've been to the state game. Now it's about getting it done. And I think that we talk about the grit, kind of going back to the grit that you say that we have down here, and that was part of the staff and the strategy, kind of stepping away from the players a little bit, but that was part of the staff and the strategy, and the community part of it. Like, if you look at our staff here, maybe like 70% are Maury grads.
Okay.
Of the staff.
And that's what we talk about.
And you talk about 90% of them, of the staff, being from Norfolk.
Big difference.
And we probably only have maybe 1 or 2 guys that aren't from here. But again, you kind of need a different little mix and vibe too.
Right.
But 95% of the staff is from this city. And I don't think that there was any more grit than us versus, Prev played at Lake Taylor School up the street. That's been a long time rival of ours, even when we played against them, and we got the better of Prev that in that
I was
matchup.
hoping he skipped past that part. I was hoping he went over that part, man. Really, dude.
Do we need to edit that part?
What are we talking about here?
Do we need to edit that part? You let us know.
No.
But I mean, for a bunch of guys, and that was just a little joke, but for a bunch of guys that, in order to get these guys up out of here, whether it's playing football or not and moving forward, guys from this actual city who we want to see our kids doing better than what we did. I mean, we got kids that's pulling up at practice, former players that pull up at practice with Mercedes trucks.
You should see them, coach. See them.
And Benz cars and all that type of stuff. Literally just playing for us in this little 5-6 year time frame.
Yeah.
Being able to pull up like that, like
last week.
that stuff right there is like, but. And I chatted with, we were having a special teams practice, and I had a conversation with Bryce, and I'm just looking like, dang, like, and I don't see how you can hate that. Like, I love the fact that he's able to live better for himself now. A kid that's from this same city is able to live like that and drive around like that, and some of them have houses. We had a conversation earlier. Some of them have bought a house already in this 6 year time frame.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, but again, like, guys from Norfolk being able to do that.
You don't?
Right.
You don't hear that.
No.
You hear everything else.
But that.
Right.
Is this why? And I am the color coach.
No, you good, you good.
But that's what I was saying, that you don't hear that. You hear everything else but that. Everybody talks about this and the third, and this is why I want you, the backstories that I want you to touch on, Coach. And I'm sorry.
You good. I'm glad you did. And that's probably why the, whether people want to say the transfers thing and all that type of stuff, like, I mean.
That's the elephant in the room. You know, everybody. They talk about.
It's coming up. I'm pretty.
Yeah, I know. But
it's just one of them things.
But you still had to coach it.
Like, you look at the wins and all that type of stuff. Yeah, it's cool. Like, other people are winning games, but like, it's all the other stuff, and it takes you to want to learn how the successful programs are doing instead of hating or demising a program that's doing it on top. You try to figure out what are they doing that we also need to incorporate or do better. We go to clinics every year. We try to figure out how to get better. Also, like I said, the L's that we've taken to good teams.
Right.
In December, trying to figure out a way to be better and those teams getting us better. So, yeah, man, the mix of players, I mean, we expect a lot of the players with the staff, a lot of us being here and being able to, like I talked about, just what we've been able to do for our kids. You can't put a price on it. None of us are being paid to as close as any of us should.
Exactly.
Myself included, and I definitely appreciate these guys all the time being able to spend time for their family, and definitely shout out to their wives, girlfriends, ladies.
Yes.
Like, I appreciate y'all. Y'all hear me saying it now.
Yes. They don't get enough credit.
I appreciate y'all. So it's a lot of expectations from players, from coaches, but it's what we put on ourselves though. So just to answer your question, my bad.
No, you're fine. No, man, this is the thing, man. Like I said, for me, I'm getting to know you guys, and like I said, I love the game. I'm a basketball coach at heart, but my first love was football, but I never played football. Yeah. I take that back. I played football, rec 1 year, played wide receiver. I wanted to play quarterback. Didn't get a chance. I quit. That was into that. And that was like in the 8th grade, and that was it. I can go on record as saying that. Sorry, I did. I mean, I had my reasons for that. I can only say the quarterback used to be a running back. I'm tall. I'm taller than him. I can see the field. I can run better. He was a running back, and he was short. And I'm like, how the hell you gonna see over top of the line? But that was the coach's decision. That was me. And he threw me one pass and tried to set me up. I said, nope, I ain't doing that no more. So if this is how it's gonna be, I'm quitting. And that's what I did. I quit.
Oh, Lord.
I never get the second rec game. I was like, you know what? This man threw across. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm right here, dog. He throwing over here. I'm done. I ain't coming back.
Oh, I figured that.
And he'll tell you, and not to say that I wasn't good, but that's to let you know how much they cared about. I was number 54, man. Wide receiver number 54. So that was terrible.
Why do people try you like that for, man?
Hey, man.
People tried
I had to
you,
earn
man.
it. Yeah, they was like, no.
Earn that, dog.
I had to earn that. So I didn't sit up here and act like I was this, I was that. I could play. I was an athlete, but
I can respect that.
Those guys was better.
I can respect that.
They were better. So I ain't scared to say what it was because people know.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? I'm 54, dog.
That shit would have me fat as hell with this big ass 5'4".
I'm 54.
Oh my God.
And look, and didn't even play defense, man.
That's bad.
They played me at corner.
Right.
They had me, man. I was like, hey, I didn't even go to the. Man, it was wild.
Oh, that's bad.
Hey, that kind of scarred childhood.
Man, no question.
Y'all first getting it. I never really told that story, but I had to get that out.
Keep out the routes, man.
So I was like, so for me, it was basketball. So I stuck to basketball. I'm like, y'all gonna carry me like this, man. Don't do me like that.
Right.
They did me like that. But yeah, man. But we'll get back on topic, man. I get y'all a few laughs like y'all love. But look, man. I gotta ask y'all another question. We talked about that green run thing, man. You talked about green run. Now, listen, since you said on rivalry, why is it that, and this wasn't even a question, why is it that they felt like that y'all talk about y'all schedule? And there were some things that I saw talk about that y'all was ducking Oscar Smith and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Could y'all address that before we go into the green run thing situation so y'all let these people know that y'all not ducking nobody?
Let the head man go.
I'm pretty got to say that. I'll speak on that. The man was told that he needed to have a conversation with me face to face.
Okay.
whenever he wants to do that, then we can go and do whatever, have the game set up. Until then, I don't get into the social media antics. So he knows that he needs to come to see me personally, and we can move forward. So we'll just
leave it at that
subject right there.
Okay, we heard it first. Hey, got it from the horse's mouth. So, no, glad we got that out there because I wanted to ask that question.
Let's be clear, we're not ducking nobody. Let's be clear.
Okay. Because that's what the perception is.
I know
I don't believe that.
But I just wanted that.
But I want y'all to say that.
Yeah.
You see the schedule this year.
Right.
Oh, right. And that's what we're gonna talk about. That's why I say I kind of want to lead that up to that. But why do you feel as though that the green run thing ain't a rivalry?
Because they're beneath us. That's why.
You know I'm putting gasoline on this.
They are beneath us. We are above them.
Now, you know they felt like that if the quarterback didn't get hurt.
Every year is an excuse. The last 2 years been an excuse about that. That ain't our fault. That's not our fault.
They gonna hate me, but
I'm just saying. The first year we played them 35-7. Number 2 went down. It was like 5 guys went out. Is that our fault? It's not our fault that their guys went down. It's not our fault, man. So then last year, the quarterback, got hurt, whatever.
Threw a lot of yards.
That's not our. As a coach, you need a backup plan for that.
Right.
That falls on the coach.
Right.
Okay. Let's be clear about that. You have a backup quarterback ready to go. That's on you to face and prepare for a football game.
Now, let me ask you a question because I wasn't at that game. I was at the Highland Springs Stonebridge game, but I was talking to one of the guys. My man was on the phone. Shout out to Anthony Jones. He was there, and me and him was on the phone. I was like, look, you give me highlights, I'm give you highlights. Did he get hurt? I can't remember. Did he get hurt in the game?
Honestly and truly, I don't know
when he got hurt.
We don't know when he got hurt.
Because the play they say he got hurt, he came in the next play threw a go ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, I don't know when he got hurt.
When he got hurt, I don't know.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. They say he got hurt. Although we saw him one series, he wasn't in the game. We're like, okay, cool. Maybe they're trying a wildcat package or whatever. So I was like, hey, okay, cool. So next series, he went out again. So I'm like, at this point, now I'm a little worried like what's going on. I didn't think he was hurt though. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I said, what is Q trying to do here? Trying to warm me to sleep? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But they say he was hurt. Woo. That's not. Neither here or there. Okay.
They lost, right?
They lost again. Okay.
Let's be clear.
Let's be clear about that. They would have said if he would have played, it would have been this and that.
Right.
It is what it is. Like they play him again. They didn't beat us. That's what it is. And like I told them, like, they will never beat us, okay?
Wow.
We're just better than they are. In football, baseball, basketball, we're better than everything we do, everything.
You really gonna put that on camera?
Yes. I've said it numerous times. We are better than Green Run in everything.
Hey, you heard it there.
What we talking about here?
And I'm gonna leave with this day. Yeah, do y'all got anything to say about that?
Green Run, they're talented, man. I've always said that. They have a bunch of athletes that can run.
Right.
But I just think it's so much more that goes into that. I've seen talented teams lose often.
Right.
So I just think what we do and how we prepare is on a different level. Mm-hmm. Not to take nothing from them because I respect those guys over there, but I just feel like
he's lying. You don't respect those guys over there.
I do respect a couple of their coaches over there.
A couple. It's probably 2 of them out of the whole staff.
I respect
but
a couple
damn,
of them.
it's like
I
that.
respect them, bro. Like, I respect them. But do I think they'll beat us? No.
Okay.
I don't think they'll beat us. But, hopefully we play them again. It's big for the area. It's big for Facebook.
Absolutely.
It's big for the Green Run Nation. They get up there talking crazy.
Right.
And then as soon as they lose, they go flip on and talking about their own team. Yeah, man, Green Run is cool. They nice, like opening the door for people and stuff like that.
Whatever you want to call it, okay?
Whatever you want to call it.
What do you want to call that fiasco over there? I don't know.
Cool.
Coach McCann, look,
He ain't gonna say
I ain't gonna
that.
sit up here and act like it. I won't. This.
They're nice, man.
We're better than people.
How you deal with this, man?
Honestly,
I love it. I love it. I love the shade.
For me, man, I ask a lot out of my players and my coaches. So for me, I'll know when to grab these guys back or tell them it's too much. But I like my coaches being them. I like my people being, because it's the community. So I want them to be them. We're gonna know how to do things the right way, but I want them to be them. Same thing with my players. they're disciplined. We're going to do things the right way. And when it's time to party, we party on Friday night. So it's so much work put in that, everything can't be so uptight.
Right.
And we do so much trying to, be disciplined and do the right thing that sometimes you just got to be able to let that stuff out and have fun and be you. And, I like letting my people be them as long as we can understand and be on the same goal and everybody on the same page and nobody's being selfish. And we're being a team as a staff and as players. I'm good. I like
we've been together long enough where we know our limits, though.
Okay.
We know sometimes that guy over there, I got to call him like, hey, look, man. Bro,
Everybody know him.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody know him. But I know, you know what I'm saying, how far to go. It means just being mature about it. Just laugh and joke. But because it's kind of, we got personal relationships with some of their coaches.
Right.
So they call us, they talk trash, they always talking about who we lose to or we losing on the Hail Mary, but they're never talking about what happened when we played them. They're talking about.
It skips
you know what I'm saying? It's just
conversation.
all fun and games, man. Like I said, I respect, what they're doing over there. They got some talented kids, man. They do. They do have some talented kids, but
shout out to Green Run, man. So
Yeah,
if y'all
for
get a chance, when y'all play, if y'all play, hopefully it don't fall on a game that I can't make it down. I would definitely like to see that. So I want to see, that anticipated matchup. So and see if Green Run can finally beat y'all. Since you said they ain't gonna never beat y'all, but never beat us. Well, we on time, man. Okay, let's get into what everybody want to talk about. Is y'all schedule? That's what everybody want to hear. That's what I personally want to hear. Let's start from the scrimmage. Y'all scrimmage Phoebus High School, 9-time state champion. If I'm wrong with the number, sorry about that, Phoebus. August 17th scrimmage. Y'all pretty much from just the outside noise, let's just say that. They treating it as a real game. It's probably going to be as many people that
they are treating it like a real game.
Well, I can't say for Phoebus, just people on the outside. Because So I'm pretty sure that August 17th game was a Thursday. Will be at Powhatan Field, right?
Yeah.
The benefit game. That's going to be like a real game. Y'all know that, right?
I'm going to tell you this right here.
Maybe football scrimmages are different than basketball scrimmages. Help me understand that.
I know you're not from around here.
I'm
gonna
not.
tell you around here how it's going to be.
Okay.
If they go out there and dog us, they don't treat it as a real game.
That's true.
If we go out there and dog
That's
them,
true.
It's a scrimmage. It didn't really mean nothing. Or we didn't play our guys the whole 2 quarters. Around here, that's how it's going to be. If they go out there and beat our tails, oh, yeah, we way better than more. But we go out there and dog them, it's going to be portrayed as, it's just a scrimmage, everybody. It don't really matter. We ain't do all our stuff. So this game here, for me, I'm looking at more of how our kids are going to compete against a team that's just as talented as us.
Right.
So I'm not going to put too much emphasis on the win or the loss of the game, but because I know how it's going to play out if either team will win or lose. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's a scrimmage. So you should go there and evaluate other players to see how they're going to help you in the long run of the season. So it's a big-time game as far as the atmosphere and two names. And both teams compete at a high level. Like, we know they're talented as well, but we want to see how our guys match up to someone on our same talent. And I'm pretty sure it's safe for them.
Yep.
So that game will be more of a see where we're at, during that time, prepare for the season.
Yeah, because both teams, y'all, lost some key players, but you both got guys bringing guys in. But would it be safe to say that the reason why y'all hadn't played a regular season game was because the schedule just didn't work out for either school?
Yeah. I think a lot of it was just not working, or teams that we tried to reach out to, it just didn't work on whoever's in, and it was left with us not having any games. So, so for us being able to kind of get back to actually having 2 scrimmage, full schedule, versus some teams that we know we better come play, is going to be good for us. And then that Phoebus scrimmage, and we scrimmaged Gonzaga before that, but in any of those scrimmages, I would say that the successful programs know what they're trying to do
that part
in scrimmages. Again, I'm not one to feed into what the outside wants to see, what they're expecting, whatever. It's about preparing for December 9th.
Right.
So that's what we're trying to see. Not again, we're trying to compete on August 17th.
Right.
Let's make no mistake about that.
Okay.
But I think the good programs, as they are too, with the tradition that they have at Phoebus,
Right.
They probably understand how to come into a scrimmage and know that you're trying to get ready for a season. A scrimmage ain't gonna win you December 9th. But you can dang sure get something out of it to help you move forward and seeing what you got, what you can use on December 9th. So I think that's where we are on those. But I mean, just like they're gonna come here to Powhatan to compete, we're gonna be ready to compete on August 17th. Guarantee that.
Man, that's gonna be classic. So your first 3 games, Wise out of Maryland, Dinwiddie and Highland Springs.
We'll flip-flop the 2, yeah, but still the same 3. So we play Highland Springs first, and then we play Dinwiddie second.
Okay. Coach, coming directly to you. What made you put that schedule together like that?
Man, I think it's kind of just been something that's been in the works.
Because these schedules are put out years, right?
Yeah, well, last year it was talked about, but even the previous years for the times that we had blank games, it was stuff that was trying to be put together then. I mean, there was times when trying to get even green run during the regular season or
Western Branch.
and I'm not so some of the other teams that was up and coming in this area or whatever and whatever, there's been reach out, whether there's been hit back or whatever. That's kind of how it played out. And with this schedule this year, Wise reached out. I mean, ASAP tried to get on it, even trying to get like Phoebus set up at one point, but I think they had something set up with Oscar Smith or whatever. And then Springs was a done deal. I think we even tried to work out something the year before with Springs, but I think it just didn't work out. But Highland Springs didn't duck us. We didn't duck Highland Springs. I think something just didn't work. We ended up getting it this year. And the same thing with Dinwiddie. As soon as we kind of reached out, I mean, they got back. It wasn't getting back 6 weeks later saying that this was up and that was up. It's kind of a done deal within a week or so. I think Springs might have been the one that was done first, then Dinwiddie, and then Wise was done in that order. I mean, we're playing them in the opposite order, but they were kind of locked.
I apologize
at that time. So I mean, it's been something that's been trying to happen. I'm just glad that it's happening now. And like I said, like this whole stage of stuff that we were doing before with winning the state title and being in the state title games, all of that was the building stage.
Right.
Here is where, it's time to take off. It's time to give our kids in this city a different experience, a good atmosphere, a good vibe. I mean, they're going to be able to look back on this era when these guys come back on the sideline from these guys that are playing at Wisconsin and Penn State and Navy and doing their thing. When they come back, some of them with their state title jackets on and rings and just being there and being a part.
Beautiful to see that.
And they always do. They come back. I mean, it's great, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to want to pull up at those games. It gets you ready for late November and December games that we're trying to that we're expected to be in, that we put in the work to be in. So, I mean, I like it. And not only that, we turn around right after that and play a rival team in Lake Taylor right after those 3 games. So, and Lake Taylor is usually a team that's always in state title contention and state title conversation.
You're hearing big about them this year.
We go off. It's Phoebus, Wise, Springs, Dinwiddie, and then Lake Taylor right after that. So again, we got to come to play. Got to put in the work. Got to grind. Coaches got to coach. But again, it's we have a challenge and we have a standard. I'm not gonna go back and forth about the standard that we talked about before. But if we have that standard, then let's do it at the best that we can possibly do it, and hopefully moving forward, it can be. I think like Springs is going to Florida or something this year. I think the head coach got his family out there, or where he went to school at, and all that type of stuff. Yeah. Now, obviously, I'm from here, so I'm actually coaching at the school that I played at, so it wouldn't be that. But hopefully, getting something. I think even last year we tried to get a team in North Carolina or something like that, but trying to.
But you guys been doing that,
yeah. Trying to experience something like that. And again, we go and we do what we're supposed to do and come to compete in these games. Hopefully we can get a bigger stage to set something up for this, something that the city has never experienced. And being here, like us three guys from Norfolk and the rest of the guys, like being able to give that to these kids in this era that we're in right now, it's something that they're going to talk about for the rest of their life. They're going to be at a cookout when they're 45 years old. They all going to get up with each other
we do that
and talk
now.
about this era.
Right.
And we want to be able to provide the best conversation for them. We want to be able to be there, us sitting on chairs, we 55, 60, and they give it, you know what I'm saying, handing us a burger and a drink, him a fat Sprite. And us just be able to chill, and they, you know what I'm saying, they on the grill, they getting our plates, and they just talking about the area, and just, Coach, man, we thank y'all, and y'all OGs and all that type of stuff. Like,
for sure.
That's you can't put a price on that, and that's something that's priceless. And I know that I want, as a coach, I want to, when those guys turn 45 and 55, still be able to talk about what we've done for them as a staff, not just moving forward and playing football next level, but how we were able to teach them discipline and hard work for what you get, and just those life lessons. So the schedule, you know, kind of speaks to everything that we're still trying to continue to do. So it just adds to that, basically, to answer your question.
Yeah. Anybody want to piggyback on that?
With the schedule, starting with, I mean, Gonzaga always, we've done that for the last 3 or 4 years. But Phoebus, a team that is similar to us. One thing, they always tough kids, well coached. But I mean, he's really good at being particular in what you're trying to get accomplished. When we have our 7-on-7 season, we have our own at our field at Powhatan, and he always says, like, that's for development. Like, you're going to play your vet guys, but we want to play young guys.
Right.
So when you see other schools catching bombs on a young guy and they celebrating because they're doing that against Maury, Coach Priv get caught up like, nah, put the ones back in. He just want to win. He don't want to lose.
Put the starters back
in. You know what I'm
there,
saying? McCain is good about that. Like, we're trying to get something out of this. We're trying to develop this young group. Now, when we go to our tournaments, the 7-on-7s, when we travel in big tournaments,
right,
RA, whatever, that's when your ace guys play. But he's always been good about that, man. The schedule, I'm excited, man. Wise, Maryland area, PG County areas. I actually lived there, went to school there for 2 years. I went to school there. My dad lives up there, my brothers.
That's gonna be good.
So, yeah, it's going to be dope. I got a lot of family in that area, so they're going to be pulling up to check us out. Always heard good things about Wise in that area. A good program in that area. But the one I'm looking most forward to is Highland Springs, man. That's the one. I mean, respect, but I need my ball back, bro. Like, we ain't beating them people yet, man. Like, that's, I mean, and all due
respect, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's respect, but like, that's the one I'm looking forward to the most. And I think we are, as a program, like, we got something to prove, because if we're being honest, nobody in the 757 has beat that staff. And we want to be the first to say we did it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the one I'm looking forward to. It's circled.
I appreciate you being straight up.
I mean, I'm just being straight up, man. So Dinwiddie, good program. I heard the atmosphere there is crazy.
Man, listen.
I can't wait to experience that. I've heard, bro. I've heard.
All I'm gonna tell you, don't expect to get no cell phone service.
Yeah.
And if you haven't been there, man, that place is crazy.
I heard, man.
And I'm not talking about a bad crazy.
Right. No, it's good crazy.
That
no,
atmosphere is
crazy.
sick,
but it's going to be good for our kids and our coaches.
If y'all can get through that atmosphere, then everything else is pretty much a cakewalk, man. It's different down there, man. And it's way down in the middle of nowhere.
Right. So that is going to prepare us for the run, man. That's going, you know what I'm saying? So I'm excited about the opportunity. Coach Priv has always said, man, he wants to be that program. We're scheduling those type games.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We want to get, like McCain saying, though, like, we are only, 6 years in? Like, it's still the beginning for us, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we wanted to get to this point where we can play the top programs on our out-of-conference schedule and show what we really about.
What you're all about.
Yeah.
And that's what we talked about, because I want to pick it back on what Coach McCain said earlier, when you said that Wise called you, that's saying respect to your program.
Right.
Because they could have called anybody.
Right.
but they called you. So apparently they saw something in y'all program that said, we want to match up against those guys to help us prepare for these teams up here in Maryland. And Maryland has definitely some good football up there to call us. And again, I love that you called down here to Virginia School to show us some respect. You know, they said, hey, well, Maury got a program, because they could have called Freedom. They could have called a whole lot of schools, Battlefield up there, and a lot of schools in between 757 in there, and they called you guys, man. So it goes to show that your program, man. So kudos to that, man, because we don't care about that. I know you guys went to North Carolina too. So again, I understand why you're doing it. You know, I know Coach Johnson said the same thing. It's good for your program because some of these guys probably haven't been outside of the area. So to go see what Maryland it is, and you know, just having it kind of take it all in, man. So no, kudos to you guys, man, because again, that's the stuff that we don't talk about. You know, that giving these guys an opportunity that may not have been outside the area, probably ain't been past Hampton. Let's just be realistic.
Honestly.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's just what it is. But do I got to go to him and ask him who he got circled? Because I pretty much know what he probably going to say.
Hey, man. I just think, I think like Bryce said it before, I think that we all know the game that we have circled. I know my calendar is circled. Like I said, you can't call it a rivalry. We never beat them. We 0-3 against this team. They beat us at 18, beat us in COVID, beat us last season. And me, as a competitor, how competitor I am, I just wouldn't feel right going to, like, not beating this team ever in my coach's career. You know what I'm saying? Like, to know, to say this team beat me 3 times in a row, twice in my own backyard, is a slap in the face. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that game, for me, is more personal against that program because I just feel like that they beat us 3 times in a row. Like, come on, somebody beat you up 3 times. It's like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying?
You want that ball back, like he said. You want
my ball back. I want
it back.
That game is what I'm looking forward to. Other games, that's not saying other games are not important. I'm just saying that team right there beat us 3 times in a row. And we can't say it's a rival. We can't say we ever beat them. And that's why I just know we have to get that game done. It has to be a win for us. I don't care how we get it done, but I'm going to be frank with you, it got to be a win for us.
I'm definitely planning on being at that game for sure. So I plan on being down here at 2 o'clock.
You better. I'm going to tell you right now.
You ain't going to get across that bridge. So look, I'm planning on, so if I got to go somewhere and go sit at a Popeyes or whatever I got to do until the game gets started, I will be here.
It's going to be a crazy
Believe
one.
that BallinVA will be here. I ain't even got to, look, just I don't care if I got to be all the way at the top. I'm going to be at the goddamn game for sure. I was at the game. I was at the championship game this year, so seeing that, and it was a very competitive game. But again, you know, I wasn't gonna bring any of that stuff up, man, because I don't want to make it. Because I am from 804. Of course, I'm gonna be biased.
Hey, we don't hide from none of that, though, bro.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? But people think we talk about the success, though, but the failures
You
is what made you, though.
today, man.
The failures is what made us, though, man. We don't like whatever it is. We're not gonna run from it.
So Coach, when I talked to Coach McCain, he said that, you know, you guys, you know who you are, but you guys ain't do nothing but show love, because I'm so used to arguing with these guys, and it's not like in a bad way.
Personal, right?
It always, and when it's like, and y'all gonna laugh at me. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, but I'm not the typical Dallas Cowboy fan. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm realistic about it. It's when you argue with somebody and I'm gonna look at the camera when I say this. I'm gonna be very clear.
I'm with you on this.
Y'all can at me, whatever. Leave Mary. Y'all can find me on Instagram or whatever. This is how it is. When you argue with somebody who's delusional in 757, and I'm down here and y'all are talking about y'all. When you talk about that you can't win, you got to go back to the 90s. Update your resume. We're not talking about that. Maury has won. Okay? Oscar Smith has won. But when you try to argue with these guys, they want to go back. Ronald Curry. Ronald Curry ain't walking through that door. Iverson ain't walking through that door. Aaron Brooks ain't walking through that door. We talking about right now. So I don't even do that. But they want to keep talking about this. So I respect that you guys said, nah, man. You said, I got this game circled. You said you don't even feel right. That's competitive. Man, these are the type of guys that I want to be around.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to just throw that stuff, but it kills me. Like, man, it's just, we're talking about football, bro.
No question about it.
But y'all kill me with that
But my thing is, if that game ain't circle or if we ain't talking about you, then you know what I'm saying? It's a respect thing though. Like
you straight up
exactly though. Like you know what I'm saying? So
it ain't bulletin board, but you just say, hey, no, these guys set the standard. These guys are winning, and at least y'all was being enough to say, hey, because y'all could have been like, well, I ain't gonna say their name, or I don't even want to talk about the elephant in the room. I wasn't gonna even do that, but like I said, but the fact that you guys are competitive enough to say, hey, they right now they it. Yeah. Now, this year's gonna be different for you guys because now they're moving to Class 6, and you're not gonna be able to face them in the typical game at the state championship game. Now it's gonna be somebody different.
But people made that, Springs gone now, Springs gone, so now. I mean, for one, Stonebridge a good program, and there's other good teams. Right. But we still want to play Springs. Like it ain't
absolutely.
That ain't gonna change.
That ain't gonna change, bro. Like they respect us, like we respect them, though. You know what I'm saying?
And they said nothing but good things.
It's a mutual respect. So we still want to play them. I mean, just because they gone, they gonna help prepare us for the rest of our season, and we gonna do the same thing for them.
And see, the reason why I brought that up because I know when my son played basketball, and I asked him, and Paula 6 was the standard, where they played. He said, "Look, Dad, I would rather beat them for the state championship than rather just to beat them for him personally." Right. And when they beat them, it was like, I felt better that I could leave it to sing and say, we beat them. Because we never beat them before. So we finally got over a chance and beat them in the state championship game. So that's why I was saying it's going to be different this year that y'all got them in the regular season versus in a game that down here at ODU, we're like, okay, now it's for all the marbles. Stuff like that.
And also I feel like the kids we have now don't understand the Maury and Highland Springs thing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I think now they know, now they're seniors. When they came and walked into it, their freshman and COVID year, they didn't play on the 18 team. So the more they didn't understand, you know what I'm saying, what the thing was. So the 19 years we won the state, they understood, you know what I'm saying? This being real, we were kind of like disappointed we didn't get to play Springs with that 19 team.
With that team.
You know what I'm saying? Because they beat 18, they lost to Verona that year.
Right.
You know, and my thing was, y'all whatever. So I'm like, okay. So on that 20 year, 2 years later, our seniors now were freshmen. And we played, and beat us 13-0. So they didn't quite understand the series of the game. So last year, now that our older juniors that play in the state, now they see why it's a big thing. It's a big deal. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this team beat y'all twice. The first time, unexcusable, you guys didn't know. But now you guys beat y'all in the state game. Now y'all guys know why we're saying this game is very important.
Man, I totally understand because for us, for years, we could never beat Hampton. Hampton was always a standard. We couldn't beat Phoebus. You know what I'm saying? It was always that. So that's why I was like, what is so hard of just saying that, hey, man, we want to beat that school? Why? But I know why, because it's from the guys who ain't play football or they ain't play sports. You know, it's some of them guys. That's who it was. You know, I mean, you know, let's just call it what it is. I get it, fanboys. That's what they are. You know, they want to be there behind the screen, geek, and all that other crap. Man, whatever. You know, it ain't never the coaches. It ain't never the players. It ain't them. You know, stuff like that. They the ones that saying, but man, Ron Curry ain't walking through that door. He ain't. He had his day. Stop. Bobby Blizzard ain't walking through that door. All right? He ain't coming. Stop looking for him. He ain't coming. Michael Vick ain't coming either. Y'all, Michael Vick, he ain't coming. God, that would make me so mad. It don't be the schools or the coaches. It be the fanboys. And they can't win an argument, so they go to that Dallas Cowboy. We ain't won a championship since 95.
Hey, man.
How can we sit up here and talk about what the Eagles did? Eagles come on, man.
Can't do it.
I look simple trying to argue with a Philadelphia Eagles fan, knowing that we ain't been in a championship game since 96. Really? I ain't saying nothing.
I'm with you. They got it, bro.
They got it. I can't say nothing. Whatever. But no, man, this was beautiful, man. I just appreciate you guys doing this, man, because it means a lot for the state that we don't have that. I don't believe in just, man, I'm going to do a podcast. I'm going to just have it up here for us. It's for us. I don't believe in that. You know what I'm saying? And I felt that you guys were good enough, and I respected y'all program enough for me to drive down here, 100 miles or whatever it is down here, in 2 hours, whatever, to come down here. It was well worth it for me. You know, and I just appreciate y'all spending a Sunday, a couple of hours doing this stuff, man. You guys don't understand. Maybe you guys do, but for me, it's because I'm no journalist.
Right.
I ain't go to school for it. I'm just an enthusiast. I just love the stories and hearing where y'all came from, how it started. You know, the assistant coaches never get to talk, Coach. It's always you and maybe a couple of the players that up there, whether you win or lose. You never get to hear from these guys. And these are the guys, as you know, are the core of the program that said, these are the guys in the trenches, and these are the guys who I trust on game day. I got to say, hey, blah, 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 blah. So for me, I want to do that because I don't really know too many other podcasts. Everybody always got the head coach.
Right.
And I know you want to be able to sit back, and I said the same thing to Coach Johnson, the same thing to Coach Scott and Hugo, and I told the same thing. This is the reason why I want to kind of get what they got to say.
Right.
Because you guys are always the front men, but you always consult these guys, and you believe these guys. If you didn't believe them, you wouldn't have them here.
Sure.
So no, thank you guys, man. Anything you guys want to say before we finish up, man? Any trash you want to talk? Because
ain't no trash. All that I like to say is like this season for us, man. Like, if you don't outside, man, don't come with us after the season. Be I knew they would do it because we know you guys are lying about it. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I would say, everybody keeps saying, oh, they got this, all the transfers, all this and that.
That's all you're hearing.
That's all you're hearing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So that's why I want y'all to address that.
My only thing with transfers is, like I said, the program right now recruits itself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you, like Bryce earlier, when you win, people want to be a part of a winner. Right. You know what I'm saying? So kids be saying, hey, I want to come to Maury, whatever that might be. They want to be it because we are a winning program.
Right.
Just like I said, Austin Smith, they start winning. Right. You know what I'm saying? People are going there, and now look, they're considered a powerhouse because kids want to be there.
They want to be there.
You know, Phoebus. It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Highland Springs.
Same thing. They addressed it. Same thing.
You know, so it's all when you win, kids start to come in. Your program gets bigger and bigger and bigger. You
That's
know what I'm
anywhere.
saying?
So,
anywhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the church thing is kind of a plea cop for our success.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like they got to discredit us as coaches because we have talented players. And like he said before, it's hard to coach talent because
it is.
You got to please the parents, the egos,
right.
Make sure everybody happy, make sure everybody getting their that's their due.
And in this era, I'm gonna go to this school. I'm gonna lead to go to this school. If you don't get what you want, I'm going somewhere else.
But now it's just that easy now.
Right,
it's
right,
a kid unhappy.
And I don't know how you guys deal with that. You know,
it's tough.
Well, and I don't want to make this to another subject because I'm gonna let Bryce speak.
No,
but with that though, like, I mean, our kids love being here.
Yeah,
like, it's hard. Like, it's demanding. Times you got to be here, the lift, the runs, the conditioning, practice. It's meetings. Yeah. It's hard, but they love being here. Like, we don't deal with the issue of somebody want to be somewhere else, and if they do, it's okay. Like, it's okay. It's not for everybody. So, you know, whoever wants to be here, we're gonna get better with the guys who's here. If you don't want to be here, we're not gonna chase you. We're not gonna 365 you. It's next guy up, and we moving forward. So,
no question.
So like for us, I mean, we really don't have to deal with that. And if we do, it just is what it is. Like,
your program sell itself.
No hard feelings. There's you ain't gonna get nothing from us. So, but you know, Bryce can speak.
What I can say, man, the way we work, we knew it would get to this. Yeah. We worked for it to get to this, and we're not gonna shy away from it. We're not gonna minimize it. It is what it is, and we put the work in for it. But the last thing I would have to say, man, it would be to shout out our staff, man. We got a really good group of coaches who sacrifice a lot and put a lot of work in from the offensive side of the ball. Coach Bam with the quarterbacks, Coach Martinez running backs, Coach Meat and Blunt with the receivers. They do a great job. And also on the defense side of the ball, Coach Rio, Coach Knight, Coach Bam, Coach Black, Coach Jones, those guys, man, are the unsung heroes because, like I said, our faces are here right now, but we are them and they are us. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was three of us, but we are one. So not to take no credit or whatever or steal nobody's shine, like, we are together and we are one. So just want to shout those guys out and what they mean to the program and the sacrifices and the work they put in, man, because it don't go unnoticed. It's demanding, it's hard. You sacrifice, and you don't make the money that You know what I'm saying? You probably lose more money being here than you make. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to shout those guys out, man, because they are selfless guys and they're for the kids and they're for the program in itself.
For me, definitely same thing. Shout out to the staff. Again, the time they put in, and again, like not only the staff, all of those people that Bryce named, girlfriends, wives, even the kids that that are old enough to know that dad isn't here all the time and all that type of stuff, but still is involved in their life. And that's one thing that I do love about my staff is like, and I've told them this in the message before, like I don't have any kids personally, but the uncle that he is and the father that he is the uncle that he is to his nephew and the father that he is to his daughter, it's inspiring. Like they're showing me how to be a father. Like I'm trying to help him grow as a man and as a coach too, but he's helping me in the instant. Same thing with Priv and his daughter and everybody else, how they're so involved with their child and going to their little league baseball game or just doing whatever or having them at practice. Like it's inspiring to see them being able to help our kids here, but then being a dad and father to their own. So definitely shout out to the staff for not only just being here, but being good fathers to their own. Shout out to our Commodore Nation and community.
Yes. Yes.
They show up.
Yes.
They show up. The real ones, the real dedicated ones, win, lose. It's still orange or blue. Y'all got them. And I'm a guy. I don't like hearing that. Hey, but y'all like we don't play for the y'all had a good season. That's smacking me in the face. We don't play for the good season. So even those ones, I know I probably give some of them a hard time. I don't want to hear that, but the real true Commodore fans that come up in that orange and blue that was down there in North Carolina with us, we appreciate you. We appreciate y'all showing up. We expect y'all to be at the Phoebus scrimmage, the Wise game, the Springs game, and it's crazy because I don't even have to tell them. I know they're gonna be there.
Oh, you know they're gonna be there.
But I just want to let y'all know that we appreciate y'all. Show up, show out, thank y'all for coming here, for picking us. I mean, like it could have been picking anybody else. It could have been whatever school in Chesapeake, whatever school in the beach. Y'all decided to come to Norfolk first. Yeah. And at this school first. This y'all being here, so we appreciate the opportunity. And again, it's just another change that we trying to make for our kids, because one of these days, hopefully, somebody that came through the program is going to have a better stage set for them to be able to either continue to run the program or turn it up even better than what us kids from Norfolk did for this school. So the fact that you came out here is much appreciated, and for us to be your first pick and y'all coming down here, man, we can't even put in the words that we appreciate being your first one.
It's love, man. It's love. I've always loved the 7-5. You'd be surprised at the love that we have in 804, and I know I can speak for a lot of guys. We go to the games, we be like, we're going to win it this year, because we know 7-5 going to always, whether it's football, basketball, track, whatever, we always do that. Some of me, my closest friends, we be like, 7-5, here we go again. They y'all just always been the standard. And even Coach Johnson at Highland Springs, he even alluded to when he first came here, that's what he heard about, was 7-5-7, But for where he said he was from, he mentioned it was the whole state. And that's what I believe in, when, of course, when it's 7-5-7, 804, if I have to have a pick, that's just a pick. But I'm going to stand with my guys, 804 all day till I die. But I respect the entire state, and especially 7-5-7. I got my family to live right across the bridge over there in Hampton. Always here, shout out to them. And you guys just have to, some of the best athletes, some of them on this wall right here. You know what I'm saying? So ain't nothing but love from respect from BallinVA and everybody. 804, we got nothing but love for 7-5. It's always been like that. But the competitive balance, man, we make each other better. For sure. We make each other better. For sure. And, when you guys beat us up the way we did, and I got to tell people, the kids just come back and say, you know what, man, it's our turn. We got to do something, man. I'm tired of losing to them. Right. But, and I'm talking about championship-wise, because, again, You know, we don't always base things off of girlfriends. We base off wedding rings, so we base things off championships.
Sure.
So, you know, that's where it stands. So, other than that, man, it's love. So I appreciate y'all having us, man. And, you know, we're going to wrap this up. And if I can say anything else, y'all got to go before we shout out anybody. Any shout out?
I'm good.
You know, y'all good?
Yep.
Well, I'm going to shout out Core Mortgage, you know, my man KO. We appreciate you, man. You know, you may not sponsor this episode, but you sponsor some episodes that we got coming out. So we appreciate it. You know, also shout out some of the, my guys in 757 that I deal with. Y'all know who y'all are. I ain't got to drop no names. But big shout out to Maury, their football team, man. I appreciate y'all coaches. You know, I put it this way, this won't be the last time. So hopefully next year we can have an interview. I want to do a yearly thing with this. So hopefully next year around this
Hopefully
time.
you can come back after the state championship, man.
Well, listen, let me tell you something. Let's just go on record doing this. You heard this, Tim. State championship, we'll do an interview December, January. How about that?
I'm with it.
We'll come down, man.
I'm with it.
Look. We got to be able to do it somewhere because I want to be able to get some mimosas and pop some champagne a little bit or something with y'all, man.
For sure.
So, no, but seriously, no, we can definitely do that, man, because this is what we do. We don't mind getting on the road, man. You know, I know he don't. He love it. You know what I'm saying? So,
I do have one last shout out. My bad.
No, go ahead.
Shout out to our kids who come to work and grind hard and deal with us. And know it's for the better good. So shout out to our kids. I ain't want to leave them out.
no, shout out to them, man, because they the ones that's putting in the work, and like you say, they following your directions. So I want to see some big things, man. So I'm hoping at the end of the tunnel this year, y'all put another championship program. We want to see that another championship because it says a lot about the state.
No question.
So, and hopefully, man, we can get that 14 playoff, man, that 3, 4, 5, and 6, man.
Yeah.
That would be beautiful.
That would be dope.
That would be beautiful. But y'all, we about to leave out of here. We live from down 75. You know, as I always tell you, man, make sure that y'all like, subscribe, and comment. It is real big that we do this, man. That's how we keep the bills, keep the lights on, and we can do interviews like this out of town. And I'm going to say, we out.